Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Photoshop Elements Custom Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in. Today's poster wants to know how to recreate this where the words are filling out a whole page and you can see the photo right between the words. And there's also kind of a grayish background behind the words with a white frame around the whole thing. Basically what you want to do to create this, the hardest part is just coming up with the text. So I'm going to turn off that top layer. Actually, we don't really need it. So I'm going to delete this top example layer, and what we're left with is 3 layers. One is the text. And this is just a whole page of text that I found online, and I just cut and pasted it and made it really big. You can make it any size you want as long as the letters are really close to each other and the spacing between the lines are really nice and close. And underneath that we have a white sheet, which is just a blank white sheet. And then underneath that we have a photo of a woman, and you can use any photo you like. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to bring that white sheet underneath at the very bottom. So that's the back layer. That's going to be the backmost layer. So once we got the text exactly where we want it to be placed, I'm going to lock that so it doesn't move around. I'm going to come up here, choose that layer, and hit the lock key. We'll keep the next layer underneath unlocked because we need to delete most of that photo. And what we want to do here is grab the magic tool and make sure the tolerance is down here pretty low. 10% is really good because look how sharp that text is. I don't need a high tolerance. All I have to do now is choose anywhere outside of the text, like, I don't know, like right here. Boom, and it shows everything else but the text. But if I hit delete, I'm going to delete the blank area around the text. That's not what I want. I want to delete the photograph. So I come down here and choose the photograph. So as soon as I hit delete, watch what happens. Boom. All of the photograph beyond the text is deleted. I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. And I know it doesn't look like much right now, but if I were to turn off the text, you're going to see what it looks like. Boom. See, the photograph is really there. If I turn on the white page in the background, boom, now you can see everything, but they're still missing the little holes that go in between the text on the B and the O and the D. So I'm going to turn the text back on, and what I have to do is, once again, choose the text, and I can zoom in, and I'll do section at a time. We're just going to have to painstakingly delete all of these in between. So I'm going to hit the Shift key so that I can choose a bunch of these at the same time. Make sure that you don't hit the text and keep only within the holes between the words, within the letters. Now, for this section, you got to make sure before you hit delete that you choose the right layer that you're going to delete, which is the photograph. So I choose the photograph and hit delete, and boom, all those centerpieces are gone. I can scroll down and do the second half of our project. Now that I've chosen everything that I can see, remember to choose the actual photo and then hit delete, and boom, they're all gone. Now I can zoom out and do Control D to deselect everything, and it looks like we haven't done anything, right? But as soon as I turn off the text layer, what's left is the photograph through the text, which is this layer. So now what we want to do is change the color of the background so that the photograph stands out more. So I'm going to go to the bottom layer here, and I'll come over here to the color palette, and let's try that gray color that we saw on the other photo right around here, let's say. And I'll hit OK, get the paint bucket, and paint that right in. Look at that. That's looking pretty good. And you know what? You're not locked in with a gray color. You can actually, use a series of different colors if you like. I'll try blue here. That looks pretty good. Let's try something wild like a purple. And boom. So you can use any color you like. For this tutorial, we'll stick to that kind of grayish color and go like that. And there we go. So now you can crop this photo and call it a day, or if you'd like to add a soft white border, you'd want to add that on a new layer up here. We can get rid of these text layers because we're not using it anymore. So I'll hit delete and add a new blank layer. That new blank layer is where we're going to add the white soft background. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because we need that space. I'm going to take the color palette and choose pure white. I'll hit OK. Come over here and choose the brush, and as soon as I bring it on top, you see there are no can do insignia there, and that's because we didn't choose a layer to draw on. So let's choose the top layer, come back here, and we can see how big that edge is. I'm going to make sure that I keep centered like this on the circle, because the hottest part of our circle is going to be the center, so we want that to be the edge. So I start right here, and I'm going to click, hold the Shift key, and slowly come across. If it's not enough, I can come back one, like that. And I can do the same thing. I'll let go and do the same thing going up and down. Once, twice. Come over here, do the same thing. Once, twice. And then at the very bottom, once, twice. Now that's looking pretty nice. Now if you wanted to change the color balance of your photo in the background, you can still do that. You can come over here, choose the photo, go to Enhance, Lighting, Brightness and Contrast, and you could play, watch the picture. See, I'm changing the contrast in case you wanted that to be darker or lighter to make it enhance or to make it kind of modern look. So it's all up to you and your imagination. I'm going to leave this down here like this. I might actually go over here to Enhance, Color, Hue Saturation, and I can change the hues of the skin tone, or I can leave it there and make it black and white, or add a bunch of color like this. Look how cool that looks. So I'm going to leave this kind of right around here and then change the lightness. So it's entirely up to you and your imagination. Well, that's it for this tutorial. This is Rich, calling it quits, saying over and out.